Wouldn't you just love to have this fit, lean, toned body that you can easily maintain year-round while eating plenty of food and getting to live your life, going on vacations, going out for meals with your friends, but still maintaining that fit physique that you feel great in? Well, that is totally possible for you, and a lot of those results come down to the speed of your metabolism. And luckily, this is something that you can improve. You can actually choose to make your metabolism faster so that you can more easily maintain a fit physique year-round. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you how to do in today's video. What's going on, Fit Fam? Welcome on back to my channel. My name is Megan Janice, the founder of Nomadic Fitness, and I teach you ladies how to eat way more food without any restrictions and work out smarter instead of harder so you can build a beautiful, fit, feminine hourglass physique that you can easily maintain year-round for life with ease. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Come give me a follow over on Instagram to get even more content. And if you're coming on back, thank you so much for joining for another video. All right, fam, there are really two main ways that you can choose to speed up your metabolism and keep it nice and fast all the time so you can maintain these great results. First way to increase your metabolism is to focus on building lots of muscle. So not only is muscle required to give you the physique you want, if you want to look toned, if you want to look sculpted and have that great sexy definition, that comes from muscle. You need to put lots of muscle on your body, and alongside that, you need to keep your body fat levels relatively low. So that is literally all it is. Adding lots of muscle, not having a whole lot of body fat. So not only is muscle the key to actually looking the way that you want, and of course also being strong, feeling great, but muscle is the secret weapon to turning your body into a 24/7 calorie burning machine. And this is because muscle makes your metabolism faster. Muscle is calorically expensive for the body, meaning the more muscle you have on your body, the more calories you burn 24/7 around the clock without having to do anything extra. You already have the muscle on your body. You are burning more calories just by existing. And I'm going to explain exactly why and how this all works in just a second. Now, the second step that you can take to increase your metabolism so you can have amazing results all of the time is to increase your overall calorie expenditure intentionally via reverse dieting. Reverse dieting is where you intentionally increase the amount of food that you are consuming consistently, and you do this bit by bit so that your body will adapt and you will actually start burning more calories. So you could say that the intention of a reverse diet is to simply increase what your maintenance level is, aka increase your metabolism, right? Increase your overall calorie expenditure. All right, so you're gonna see that these two things go completely hand in hand. Building muscle goes along with reverse dieting, and when you reverse diet, you'll be able to build more muscle because you're eating more food, which allows you to have the sustenance, the calories that you need in order to create muscle mass on your body. Because when you're building muscle, you're trying to create something that isn't there right now. So of course, what I'm always talking about on this channel is one of the biggest mistakes women make when it comes to getting this really great fit body is they only think about fat loss. They only think about weight loss. And yes, having less body fat is part of the equation, but if you just have less fat and you don't have lots of muscle underneath, you will be very disappointed, not only by the way that you look, because you won't look toned, you won't look firm and defined, but also if you're not building muscle, you are not speeding up your metabolism and you're not able to eat more food and maintain those results. So funnily enough, when you focus on eating more food to be able to actually build muscle with, this allows you to get fitter the way that you want and more easily maintain it, versus when you do the opposite, when you're always slashing calories and you're always eating very little, always dieting. This actually slows down everything. This makes your metabolism slower, it messes up your hormones, and of course when you're eating very little, you really cannot be building any muscle. So this is of course why yo-yo dieting is sadly so common. Okay, so to understand exactly why having more muscle and also increasing the amount of food that you eat actually helps you to burn more calories, we need to actually look at how does our body burn calories? What is the actual science of this? So the total amount of calories that you burn every single day is called your total daily energy expenditure, or TDEE for short. There are 4 contributing factors to your TDEE. The first and by far the largest contributing factor, as you can see, is your BMI. BMR, which stands for your basal metabolic rate, aka your metabolism. As you can see, this accounts for 70% of the calories that you burn. This means that even if you laid in bed, you did not move, you literally just sat there and your heart was pumping blood, your lungs were breathing, you would still be burning the 70% of calories. So literally your metabolism is a measure of how many calories does it cost your body just for you to stay alive. So since you can see that this is by far the most significant contributing factor to your overall calorie expenditure, this is why you should care about making your metabolism fast. So here's the thing, our body's job is to keep us alive. And so this is why your body more or less is always going to adapt itself to the amount of food that you are eating. So this is why actually it's a really big problem when women are not eating that much as a consistent way of being. Number one, because if you're not eating that much, you just don't have enough fuel to be building any muscle with, which furthermore is not going to speed up your metabolism or make you look the way that you want. But then of course, if you're not building muscle, you're not getting a faster metabolism. And if you're just not eating that much in general consistently, your body adapts to that, and then you don't actually burn that many calories because your metabolism adapts and is just functioning at the overall baseline that you're giving it. So this is why, even though it is very difficult to believe when we have been so brainwashed our whole lives by diet culture, you actually have to do the inverse. You have to slowly condition your body to be adapted to eating more food, and then your metabolism adapts, realizes that there's more food, and it slowly starts to burn more and more calories. Okay, let's look at the other three factors, because although they only contribute to 30% of your total calorie expenditure, that still adds up. And when you eat more via a reverse diet, gradually and intentionally increasing your calories, these other three sources will also speed up and you will also burn more calories from them. So the next one is your NEAT, which stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is quite a mouthful. And all that means is all the movement you do throughout the day that isn't intentional exercise. So the biggest one, of course, is your step, just actually how much walking you do every single day. And this is why, of course, you hear a lot of discussion around steps being very important. And you see here that actually it is the second biggest contributing factor. It accounts for 15% of your TDEE. So of course, if you're somebody who only gets maybe 2,000 steps a day versus somebody who naturally gets 12,000 steps a day, that is a big difference. And the person walking more is going to be burning a lot more calories, which of course can really help push things along with your fat loss and staying lean. So here's the crazy thing. When you are not eating that much, subconsciously, you will actually decrease how much movement you do. It's not just from your walking, although that is part of it, but even like what I'm doing right now, moving my hands, standing up, picking things up off the ground, all of that is your NEAT. And when you don't have that much energy coming in, you subconsciously don't actually move that much. And maybe you can even think of a time this happened to you. Maybe you were dieting, eating really low calories, and you just had no energy. And if you think about it, you probably weren't moving a whole lot because your body was trying to preserve your energy. So now when you do the inverse, when you're actually eating more food, your body again is going to realize, oh, there's more energy, we're more abundant here. So you're going to be able to be more fidgety, getting up, moving around, and all of this will ultimately contribute to you burning more calories this way. Now, the third contributing factor is your TEF, which stands for the thermic effect of food, which is a fancy way of saying the calories you burn via digestion. So again, funnily enough, when you're not eating that much food, that means you have less food to actually be digesting, which means you are once again not really burning that many calories via digestion. Versus when you get your body adapted to a higher calorie intake, you're ultimately digesting more food, which means you're ultimately burning more calories just via digestion. So that factor contributes 10%, and the final 5%, measly 5% of all the calories you burn every single day comes from your EAT, which is your exercise activity thermogenesis, aka the actual exercise, the actual intentional workouts that you do. So this right here should really make it very clear to any of you who are still thinking that you work out to burn calories. I mean, yes, obviously you're burning some calories when you work out, but that should never be the focus of your workout. The real focus of the majority of your workout should be to build more muscle. And that is why we go to the gym, we lift weights, or at least we do it at home, and we really push ourselves hard within the workout that we're doing, put a serious stimulus on our muscles so that the muscle fibers will tear, which is why you get sore from a workout, and then they will grow back bigger and stronger. And not only is this going to give you the toned look you want, but it's also going to speed up your metabolism. And we now know that metabolism is 70%. So it makes a lot more sense to put your intention in your workouts into building muscle rather than just trying to burn a bunch of calories, which, by the way, you will burn calories anyways, but when you focus on gaining muscle as well, you're getting the added bonus of looking great and faster metabolism. So how do you actually do a reverse diet? How do you start increasing the amount of food that you're eating so that your body will adapt and you'll start burning more calories 24/7 on autopilot? Well, there's quite a few things you need to do. The first thing is you need to track everything that you do currently eat right now in 1 week. And once you have all that, you're gonna find the average amount of calories. So let's say you track for 7 days in an app like MyFitnessPal. You're gonna add up the grand total of those 7 days, divide by 7, and then you'll have your average calorie intake. From there, you're going to set macros, your protein, fats, and carbs. And this matters because each of the three plays a role in how much fat versus muscle we have, and also how much energy we have to put into our workouts that we need to do to build muscle in the first place. So I'm not gonna break down fully how to calculate your macros and how to adjust everything in this video because I have other videos on this topic, so you can go check that out here, and I will also link it in the description below of how to calculate your macros and how to keep adjusting it. So now, once you know what your average intake is, I will say the vast majority of people can benefit from some amount of a reverse diet. Now, this is especially if you are a woman eating any less than 2,000 calories a day. Really, you should try to be doing at least a little bit of a reverse diet because you just want to see how does your body respond. And again, this is the whole game of fitness, is really just taking your own body through a controlled science experiment. You want to see what happens, how quickly and how well does your body respond as you start to bring up food bit by bit. Now, I know this freaks a lot of women out because again, we just have always been taught that you have to eat really little, and so we're very paralyzed by this fear that if you increase your food, you're just going to get fat, you're just going to gain all this weight. So I just want to say that this is why when you do a reverse diet, you do it really gradually. You're not just suddenly adding in 1,000 calories. You have to really do it bit by bit so that you're going to be very in control of how your body's responding. And it's not like you're going to suddenly gain all this body fat. You're going to have to analyze the data. So what you need to be doing is you need to be taking weekly progress photos, weighing yourself every single day and keeping track of that in a graph, and then also evaluating your biofeedback every week. You want to see, how hungry am I feeling or not? Am I feeling really stuffed? Am I feeling like it's very difficult to eat? You want to pay attention to your energy levels, all of that good stuff. And by the way, this is literally exactly how we coach you, is we have you track all of this data inside of the app that we use. And then we, as your coaches, are evaluating all this and making the decisions for you so that you don't have to figure it out on your own. And we get really incredible transformation, help women to drop body fat, build lots of sexy muscle, and be able to maintain it because we condition their body to a higher amount of calories. So let me walk you through 2 different client examples to showcase what that looks like. So this is one of our clients, Sarah, who is down 20 pounds after doing a reverse diet and is now in a cut. So the cut is the fat loss phase that you should be doing after doing your reverse. So Sarah is a 45-year-old mom of 6. She's a busy business owner, and obviously she was just unhappy. She felt like she had lots of fat that she wanted to lose. She wanted to be stronger. She wanted to look fitter. But when she came to us, she was only averaging about 1,600 to 1,700 calories a day. So again, this is why I say if you are a woman eating less than usually around 2,000 calories, you're going to want to reverse at least a little bit because you just want to get your body in a position that it's adapted to a higher calorie intake for a couple of reasons. Number one, you want to give your body the fuel it needs to actually be building some muscle with, because of course we want muscle to look good and to be able to maintain the result. And then the other thing is that if you get your calories to a higher place now, down the road, when it comes time to do a fat loss phase, which is called a cut, where you're going to go into a calorie deficit to maximize your fat loss, you're going to be able to drop your calories from a much higher intake. So this is going to make it way easier for you to adhere and for you to ultimately get way more out of it. So Sarah is a great example of this. Since she was only averaging about 1,700 calories a day, we first did a reverse diet and we actually increased her up 1,000 calories. We went all the way up to 2655. Now, she did not really lose weight in her reverse diet. And I know for a lot of people who are coming in and they want to lose weight, this can be kind of difficult to embrace this and trust this process because you think, well, I want to lose weight. Why would I be doing something that's making me not lose weight? But here's the thing. This is also why you need to be taking progress photos, because in Sarah's case, maybe she wasn't really losing weight on the scale, but what we did see was in her photos, she was getting much leaner. She was also putting on some muscle definition. So this is why you have to always compare what's happening in the scale and with your biofeedback, meaning your hunger, your energy, all of that, versus what you see in your photos. Because just because the scale is not yet dropping doesn't mean that your body composition, aka how much fat and muscle you have, is not improving. So we took her through a reverse diet for about 3 months, and she did find it a little bit hard to trust this process because she did really want to lose weight, but we really helped remind her that this was ultimately building her body, that she was putting on a lot of great muscle because she was eating more food and training properly in the gym, and that she still was seeing physique progress, that she was leaning out, and that ultimately this was going to make her cut way easier, which is exactly what is now happening. So now Sarah is in her 7th month of cutting, and she's obviously gotten way leaner, and now the muscle definition that she worked so hard to build over these months is really starting to show because she's also gotten lean enough. So we have only had to drop our calories to 1940. So she's literally now losing weight like clockwork, literally hitting a new low pretty much every single week, and she's eating more calories, pretty much 350 calories more now than she was when she started the program. So this is exactly what I'm talking about speeding up your metabolism via building muscle, by eating enough, eating the right macro ratios, and training properly in the gym, and then also using reverse dieting as a tool to increase your maintenance and get some muscle on your body. And she's been at 1940 calories for about the last 2 months, and she's continuing to drop weight. So even though she's now 7 months into cutting, which some people would think that's too long, in her case, she feels great. She has tons of energy. She's still doing so well in the gym, and she's continuing to drop weight and just look better and better. So we don't have any reason to end her cut, and we also have no reason to drop her calories anymore because she's continuing to lose weight. So you don't ever have to drop as long as you are continuing to respond to your protocols. All right, let me share a second client example with you. This is my client Kaylin, who you can see when she first started was the typical kind of skinny fat type of body. So in her case, it's not like she had a bunch of weight to lose, but obviously she didn't have that toned fit physique she wanted. And the thing was, she was actually going to the gym 6 days a week, but she was only averaging about 1,400 calories a day. So again, of course you were going to be skinny fat if that is how little you are eating, because you are not eating enough to be able to create muscle. And she was actually overdoing her exercise. So what I coached her through instead was, number one, dropping her workouts down to just 4 days a week and doing really good quality workouts, and then having the time to rest outside of the gym, because it's also really important when it comes to building muscle, speeding up your metabolism, that you don't overdo your training, because your muscles need a chance to recover in order for them to grow. So the way you want to train is go in, hit your sessions hard, beat up your muscles, and then outside of that, let them recover so that they can actually grow. Then the other thing we did was a reverse diet that eventually turned into an actual build. So the difference between a reverse diet and a build is where you officially cross over into a calorie surplus, meaning that you are actually gaining weight, and that this is the intention, that we want to gain weight, because in this case, we are trying to maximize how much muscle you can gain. So the only people who can actually do build, who can be comfortable gaining weight, are people who are already skinny, who are already petite. They have the room to be gaining, versus if you have a lot of body fat, you're gonna have to wait until you lose the body fat to do your build. So in Kaylin's case, we spent about 5 months doing a reverse and a build, and we went all the way from about 1,400 calories a day and just 100 grams of carbs, by the way, very, very little carbs, which is a big mistake when it comes to building muscle. And we went all the way up to 2,800 calories a day and 380 grams of carbs. So literally almost quadruple the amount of carbs and double the amount of calories. So in this process, Kaylin put on 15 pounds. So she gained quite a bit of weight, but obviously you can see that she got way leaner, way more toned, looked way better. Now we're about 5 months into Kaylin's cut, because what we did was we gained weight, we put on quite a bit of muscle, but eventually you are also gaining a little bit of body fat along with that muscle. So what you need to do after your build is you need to do some cutting, and you need to do this the right way so that the body fat will come off while you still maintain the vast majority of the muscle and keep a nice fast metabolism as you go through your cut. So she's another client who's been hanging out at 2,000 calories for the last 2 months. So that's the maximum we've had to drop her to, and she just continues to hit new lows. So she's down about 7 pounds in her cut. So obviously she doesn't have as much weight to lose as the previous client did, because she's already pretty lean. So how much weight you lose is going to be relative to how much body fat you have to lose, keep in mind. But she has definitely gotten much leaner, and she's really showing off all that amazing amazing muscle that she built in the reverse and in the build that we did. So there you have it, fam. I hope now you can understand how it is that you too can naturally speed up your metabolism via gaining muscle and also implementing reverse dieting. So of course you can check out more videos on my page because I talk about this in all of my videos and show you how to do it yourself. But if you want the easy, fast way to do this, if you don't want to have to calculate numbers, you don't want to have to guess when you should change your macros, what your workout should be doing, how to maximize your results in the gym, then this is exactly what we coach you through inside of one-to-one coaching. So you can click on the link in the description box, come check out our coaching page, and if it seems like a good fit for you, we'd love to have a free consult with you and see if you'd be a great option to work with us so we can get you your dream physique once and for all and be able to easily maintain it. All right, fam, thank you so much for checking out this video. Now next, I want you to go check out this video where I'm going to walk you through how to go through a reverse, a build, or a cut, all the numbers that you need to figure out so you know that you are doing things correctly. I'll see you in that video.